Welcome to Leadership Messengers podcast. I am your host, Ovi Vásquez, born and raised in Guatemala with no electricity, now bringing you experts to help you develop our next generation of values-driven leaders.
Corporate leaders develop leaders by making learning visible and real. First, credential skills. When competencies are explicit, growth accelerates. Second, value identity. Language, culture, and lived experiences are leadership assets. We talked about how we credentialed language for our students, which were a game changer. Many of our students didn't realize that these were assets and superpowers. Third,
welcome everyone once again to Leadership Messengers, where we bring you experts to share with you how you can develop our next generation of values-driven leaders. And today's guest is extremely special because he is nationally recognized in his subject of expertise, Dr. Michael Herrera. I'll share with you his bio so you understand a little bit about who you're learning from, and then we'll dive into the questions. Dr. Michael Herrera is the Executive Director of Upper Bucks County Technical School and a nationally recognized leader in career and technical education, CTE. He serves as Region 1 Vice President on the National Board of Directors for the Association of Career and Technical Education, ACTE, a thought leader in CTE and career-connected learning. Dr. Herrera is a published author, speaker, and advocate for equity and innovation in workforce readiness. Everyone, let's welcome Dr. Herrera. How are you, Dr. Herrera?
I'm fine. First, Ovi, thank you very much for your kind words and introduction. I believe leadership isn't just about titles, it's about stewardship. I've spent my career serving students, educators, and communities by building systems that turn potential into opportunity, especially through career and technical education and career-connected learning. My North Star is simple. Leadership today is about building pathways, especially for students who have been historically overlooked. So talent, language, and potential translate into purpose, credentials, and real opportunity.
I love it. You pretty much answer the first question that I was going to dive in as to like what you do and who you serve. So I would love to jump into my next question, which is I would love for everyone listening now to understand that every young person has potential, whether it's a student in a classroom in high school or in college or in a corporate setting where this is their first time ever and they've never been to an environment like this, but they have tremendous potential where their mind can be shaped and molded into driven leaders. So please help us understand, Dr. Herrera, how was your upbringing and what were some of the things that you learned that helped transform you into becoming the national thought leader that you have become?
Thank you, Ovi. So for me, leadership is about service and empowerment, creating the conditions that others can grow, contribute, and succeed. Those that came before me modeled those principles. The best leaders do three things consistently. They create clarity, they build trust, and they remove barriers. During my 20 years in education, I've learned that calm, value-centered leadership builds trust faster than the command and control ever could. My role models modeled those principles. The leaders that I trusted growing up weren't loud, they were consistent, they believed in hard work, in education, and in people. And when a mentor saw something in me before I ever saw it in myself, it changed my path. That's leadership at its best, quiet, principled, and deeply human.
Amazing. It really speaks to me as to how visionary and at the same time transformational leader style kind of like blends in both ways. And I appreciate how thoughtful you are with your words are so carefully chosen that with every second that you speak, it drives value. So thank you for that, Dr. Herrera. Now, in your early times growing up, when you were going through your educational journeys, were there a particular program that you felt transformed you in a certain way? As an example, I came from Guatemala, grew up with no electricity. I came to the US as a teenager. I went through a computer class. I had never touched a computer before. It transformed me. Please tell us about your experience.
The experiences that shaped me were connected to real life, athletics, coaching, and teaching. They taught me discipline, teamwork, and responsibility. When my athletic path ended, a mentor reminded me that education is ultimately about service. That belief carried me into teaching and career connected learning. When education is grounded in purpose, students rise. That belief still guides my work today. I came across a term called ikigai. It's a Japanese term meaning purpose and passion. And this has really guided my path forward. Ikigai is centered around what the world needs, someone loves, what earns them money, and I think that is that early influence of that shaped me and that North Star of helping students find their purpose and passion is deeply personal. And I'm very committed to helping others find their ikigai.
That's perfect. I am familiar with the concept, and that is true. So, Dr. Herrera, I appreciate the answer to that because, you're an experienced thought leader helping others, not only in education, but also in your expertise with language and things like that. How can a leader today, even if there's a barrier, whether it's language, whether it's other things, how can they better connect with those who they are trying to connect with? Do you have some ideas for us?
I think it's a lead with the heart. Students, even adults, really just feel and have radar on who's there to really help and support them. I've had a wide variety of experiences, including working at a yeshiva, inner city, rural, urban. And one thing that really stands out is, again, being able to connect with students on a personal level, and showing that you care.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Dr. Herreras, please help us understand how was your upbringing? Did you grow up in a nice neighborhood? Did you grow up with siblings? Help us understand what was your mindset when you were younger.
My father was a cabinet maker. He taught us the values of hard work, really going and the what we call employability skills. At that time, it was termed blue collar, but those blue collar attributes and skills help serve me today. That's being on time, giving an honest day's work, and then also working together as a team with your coworkers, really believe in the power. And what's really interesting, Ovi, on the back of his pickup truck, he listed all of his children's, my siblings, education, Seton Hall, Colgate, law schools. Those stickers were on the back of his pickup truck, really just showing the value, importance of hard work.
Yes, indeed. Hard work indeed pays, as they say. It is the common thread amongst any industry that it really helps us thrive. Now, Dr. Herrera, I'm sure you probably face some obstacles along the way, as most people do, right? Adversity always comes in the way. And you've mentioned mentors already, and you've mentioned clarity, and you've mentioned trust. How did you decide to become Dr. Herrera? What was there a particular moment in your life that something came to you or somebody came to you that you said, you know what? I'm not just going to go and earn a bachelor's degree, but I'm going to go all the way to earn an educational PhD level degree. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Absolutely. So for me, we grew up in a system where the more education you received, the more opportunities that were there. I started off as a high school coach and middle school physical education teacher. I realized early on that I wanted to be able to help more students and go on a leadership where I received my master's degree. Learned very quickly the difference between management and leadership. I then received my first job at a career and technical school. Many of the staff were 20 years my senior, and I realized the attributes of that hard work, that skill was only going to take me so far. Going into the College of St. Elizabeth doctoral program helped me learn the importance of servant leadership and along with systems thinking that have helped me up to my current roles.
That's amazing, because most times people think that, oh, if you only go to a certain pathway, you stop and then you don't go any further. But you decided, you know what, I'm going for the masters. And I know you said I received my masters, but I know you earned it, right, with your own sweat and tears and blood and sweat and tears, as they say. So, Dr. Herrera, you've become a thought leader nationally recognized. How can leaders of today develop more leaders for tomorrow? Do you have some ideas where they can implement, for example, leaders? What could they do today to develop more leaders that are value driven and value centered so that our society becomes better by the decade?
I think corporate leaders develop leaders by making learning visible and real. First, credential skills. When competencies are explicit, growth accelerates. Second, value identity. Language, culture, and lived experiences are leadership assets. We talked about how we credentialed language for our students, which were a game changer. Many of our students didn't realize that these were assets and superpowers. Third, build mentorship ecosystems, not just a hero model of one person providing guidance. And finally, offer stretch opportunities tied to real outcomes. These are the same principles we use in our career connected education, and they work just as well as in industry.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I'm sure by now, through the work that you do and through the learning that you've done throughout the years, you've discovered maybe some tools, some platforms, or some things that you believe are most important for the new leaders today. Would you share with us sort of maybe an overview as to, you say, you know what, if I had the power to develop 100, 1,000, 10,000 more leaders, here's what I would do. Like, this would be my map.
I think my message for education leaders really is and developing the next generation with corporate and business partnerships is let's stop asking our students to fit into systems. We really need to build systems worthy of their potential. Career connected learning must be infrastructure, not enrichment. Credentials, the industry, and language are really the validation layers that bridge education and work. For multilingual learners, the language testing international ACFA-aligned credentials convert those skills into confidence and mobility. Many times, Ovi, we really need to meet students where they're at and again, build systems around their strengths. So we use universal design for learning, which really is how access becomes real. And when systems are designed this way, leadership starts well before graduation.
Yes, sir. Earlier, you mentioned also that, you did some sports when you were in school, and now you're helping the next generation understand their assets, and also certifying, credentialing their language and things like that, and understanding how, as you know, the world is expanding, right? We're becoming a globalized sort of economy. What are some things that you think in what you are doing now that you have seen the benefits of it, and how the leaders that are listening to us now, they can understand that they can either work with you, partner with you, acquire the services and tools that you have developed and systems? Tell us a little bit about those benefits and impact that you've seen happen and that you foresee that will also happen as we continue to expand on a global market.
Okay, global is very, very important. I think everything really starts local and then expands outwards. I think we really need to reimagine our educational systems, connecting a school to work. Ovi, over the last 2 years, our student body of 900 students earned $1.8 million in wages just during the school day. So for us, relevance isn't just a theory, it's measurable. And what I really believe in is our leaders really starts with that purpose and that passion. We use assessments like Myers-Briggs, super strong inventory to help students find their North Star through their passion. And then we build it from there. So I think for us, right now, it's really working with industry, making sure that the skills our students develop are transferable, and building both the academic, technical, and employability is key for us.
Yes, absolutely. I can tell you that I benefited from a sort of a technical program myself. I went to ROP, Regional Occupational Area, Regional Occupational Program. That's what it was called. And I won a silver medal award by Skills USA, and so it helped me build my confidence. Please help us understand, Dr. Herrera. What do you think a leader can do when they have a new team member, or even a leader in a classroom or in a college setting where they have a new, younger person that they don't feel confident? Are there some ways, some recommendations that you can say, hey, look, the reason why you're working with us is because we saw this in you, we believe in you, whatever it is. Give us some ideas. How can we help somebody that does not feel confident or is battling with imposter syndrome, as some people call it, so that we can help them jump over that obstacle, over that barrier? Maybe this is going to help somebody who has some team members like that to get them to be peak performers.
I think, again, it just goes back to finding their talent, their strengths. Typical our traditional schools in career connected learning, we see that there are assets that everyone brings to the table and can help contribute. As a teacher, as a coach, it's up to us to find those traits, even if the students, adults, or teammates don't realize they're there. And then it's up to us to be able to nurture, to be able to help mold and bring those out.
Yes, indeed. And as you know, Dr. It's all about impact, right? Regardless of where we're leading, whether it's in a classroom or in a corporate setting. And for me, as a speaker who speaks to various audiences, professionals, and youth, and even families also, I remember speaking one time in San Jose, California, a group of interns that were going to go to eBay, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Google, all the big companies. And I remember meeting a young couple. The guy was struggling a little bit, and the lady, she was homeless. I gave my best advice that I could. And fast forward, she went to work for LinkedIn at the corporate level. He went to work for Facebook at the corporate level. He went to work then for Google. He now is working for Apple for four
Wow.
years. And could you share with us maybe a brief story about somebody that you know of, in the ways that the things that you've done that you're like, you know what? We met this person, we saw this person, we delivered this at this location, and this happened.
Absolutely. After graduating with my bachelor's, I had the opportunity to run a summer school program. And at that time, there was a senior that needed to take a math class remedial in order to pass, in order to graduate. After sitting down with him, listening, he really didn't have any path. He didn't know what he was going to do once he graduated. So at this point, I really helped him with his applications, his resume, and this is before I did this as a coach before I really got into the career connected path that I'm on now. And he filled that application out. It was at UPS, and to this day, he's a manager and very, very successful. So I'm really glad to help him on his path.
I love that. I mean, this whole interview has been very much blended with education and inspiration. So I appreciate all the information you're giving us. So, Dr. Herrera, please share with us, where can listeners connect with you further and support your mission and learn about what you're doing?
LinkedIn is the best bet, Ovi, and I would love if there's any shared synergy. If you reach out, would love to connect with them on that platform.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure to include the direct link on the description for this podcast to make it easier for our listeners. All right. So, Dr. Herrera, we have a second set of questions. They're rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind should be a little fun. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Please tell us, what's an accomplishment you are super proud of?
Scaling career-connected learning so students can earn real credentials and real paid work experiences, building pathways that translate into opportunity.
I just love how people driven you are. I just love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Second question. Please share with us maybe 1 to 3 books that you believe every leader should check out maybe at least once in their life.
I've enjoyed reading recently The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday and The Power Broker by Robert Caro.
Gotcha. As you know, AI has become integrated into our lives. What's your go-to AI tool and why?
ChatGPT, it helps me draft, refine, and pressure test ideas faster, but I still believe, Ovi, that judgment still belongs to the leader.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you've mentioned mentors earlier in the interview. Where could someone find a mentor if they needed to go and find one?
Professional associations like the Association for Career and Technical Education, industry groups, community networks, and let's not forget about service-based opportunities, places where people show up consistently.
Indeed. What free educational resources do you happen to know about that you believe more people should know about?
Let's not forget about our public libraries. There's wonderful both online and resources at the library, LinkedIn Learning, ACTE resources, and the high quality career exploration tools schools already have, but I believe are underused.
I love the great reminder. I love it. Please share with us, Dr. Herrera, what's one life changing hack you would make sure you teach it to someone you deeply cared about?
Credential your strengths, don't hide them. Write your values down and make one weekly decision that proves them. Values aren't what you say, they're what you do and schedule.
Wow, that's a quote right there. I'm, I'm going to remember that one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please share with us, Dr. Michael Herrera, maybe 1 to 3 songs that make you come alive.
Recently, there's a song, it's called He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. It's by the Hollies, and I played this at a recent professional development with my staff. And that really captures the idea that responsibility isn't a burden, it's rooted in love. As a youngster, I saw the movie Boys Town with Father Flanagan, where a boy carrying another simply said, "He ain't heavy, he's my brother." And Ovi, that's a reminder that purpose changes how we measure weights.
Wow, amazing. You are people driven through and through. Okay, I love this. Last question of the day. Dr. Michael Herrera, what's your favorite snack?
My favorite snack is going to be a chocolate covered triple layer cake.
I can't blame you for that. That's fantastic. As Les Brown says, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first, right? That's amazing. Dr. Michael, that was my last question for this interview, but I would love for you to share any last thoughts, any last message, any last word, anything else you want everyone else to know that I may not have asked, that you're like, people got to know about this. They got to know how they can work with us. They got to know our system. They got to know this. Please take a moment to share your thoughts.
Thank you, Ovi. So right now, I'd like to talk about my why, which comes down to 4 words: live, love, learn, and leave a legacy. So for me, that's what purpose and relevance education has to connect to real life. When students see how learning links to real work, real credentials, and real opportunity, they engage differently. Love, and that's love the people you serve. That means designing systems where students feel seen, valued, and respected. That also means building capacity in your employees or your staff. Learn, to me, that's continuously and humbly. Learning doesn't stop at graduation. And finally, for me, it's leaving that legacy. If we do those things well, we just don't educate students, we develop value-driven leaders.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Dr. Michael. You're absolutely correct. Well, I appreciate beyond words the opportunity to have this conversation with you, Dr. Michael. You've been so thoughtful, and this is probably one of the most content heavy interviews, and I think everyone is going to appreciate that. Well, everyone, this is all from us today with Dr. Michael Herrera, and I am Ovi Vásquez, and this is Leadership Messengers, where we help you develop the next generation of values-driven leaders. See you on the next episode.
Thank you, Ovi.
Thank you for being part of our community. Who is a leader you believe should be interviewed in our podcast? We would love to hear your thoughts about it and interviewing the leaders that you admired most. See you on our next episode.